fix this, yeah. If there's something that you need to say, I know it ain't easy living in.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing good, and today I'm back again with another brand new video, and I'm really excited for this video. And if you're someone new in my channel, then welcome. I'm Basma, and today we are going to be talking about a product which I was very eagerly waiting for. Like every year I wait for this time around of the year, because around this time Huda Beauty comes out with the larger palettes, and I always look up to those things. And this year we have the Naughty Nude, and I am just so damn excited to show you guys this palette. And this is actually the look that I did with this palette today. So we are actually going to be talking quite in depth about this palette, so we can kind of get a point of view review of mine. So this is the palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what anyone else thinks, or you can say whatever you want, but I actually love the shade range. I love how it looks. Not saying because I'm biased towards Huda Beauty, but genuinely I think this is the most feminine and the most expensive kind of looking palette. Not expensive in terms of packaging or something like that, but in terms of wearability, because right now I'm wearing it and let me tell you, I feel $1 million. It just makes me feel very bougie. I don't know, if you wear it then you would have understood, I guess, because it's all about, you know, seeing the product up front and also using it up front. It completely, you know, blew me out of my mind, and I am over the moon, and I'm really happy that I purchased it, because those of you who wouldn't purchase it, I think probably you'll be missing out. But if you're someone who actually wears nude type of eyeshadows, and also you like this sort of colors, but you still think that you have this sort of colors already in your collection, I would still suggest you to go out and buy this palette, because I'm 100% sure this will be different than those you have already in your collection. So let's get introduced with the palette. This is the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude palette, and this launched on this 1st of November 2020. And let me just read the description. It says 18 eyeshadows in 5 ready to layer textures, 8 velvety soft powerfully pigmented mattes, 5 shine buttery metallics, 3 reflective shimmer cream marbles, 1 matte cream marble, 1 sheer pearly gloss hybrid. Okay, so this is what all it contains. So we can see that we have the marbles right in here, then we have the shimmer. This is 1 2 3, these are the shimmer marbles, and this one right here, which is called Hard, is actually a matte marble, which is something very new, because previously we know Huda Beauty for creating marbles or creating shades where they have a speckles of glitter in it. But this one right here, it kind of looks like a satin type of eyeshadow. I still haven't swatched it, but I did use the palette while doing the eye look. You guys will see the eye look, and I will try to stamp the portion where I have started the eye makeup, so I will try to give the timestamp in the description if you want to go ahead to that. This one right here, Hard, is actually a matte eyeshadow. This is a matte marble. And these 3 right here, Passion, Flower Power, Provocative, these are the cream metallic marbles. And 1 2 3 4 5, these 5 are the shimmers, which are ready to layer shimmers. And then we have 8 matte eyeshadows, and this one right here is what she calls a gloss hybrid pearl. So we are going to talk about that, because I know everyone is having a lot of opinion about this one, and there is a talk going on. I've seen all of it in the internet. So let's talk about the price point of the palette. It costs same as the Mercury Retrograde palette, $67 US, and I actually ended up paying a lot more for this palette just because of this video. For the sake of this video, I ended up buying this one directly from Huda Beauty's website, and for the Bangladeshi shipping portion, the palette the pricing actually increased by $5, so it was $72 US, and then there was sales tax of $20, and also duties, which we have to pay here in Bangladesh. So it all calculated in the website, and the duties were about $60, probably 60 or $62. So I ended up paying a lot. It was total 153 US dollars for this palette, but I actually don't mind it because I'm actually doing it for the video. So I wanted to get this video out as soon as the palette launched, so I purchased it directly from the website. But if you're someone who wants to get it for yourself, then I would probably suggest you to see if there is any sale going on in Sephora, or if you can get it on Black Friday, or if you can find it with any sort of deals going on. So it would cost you a little less, because $67 is already quite a high price point. And the palettes, actually the larger palettes actually used to be 65 US dollars when they had the cardboard packaging, but since last year they have been changing their packaging to plastic packaging. I guess it started from the neon palettes with the smaller ones. They were $25 previously, and then they increased it to be $27 after they renewed it to the plastic sort of packaging. And for Mercury Retrograde 2, last year when they came out with the plastic packaging, and it turned out to be 67 US dollars from $65. So yeah, there is a price point increase for that, but I don't mind it. I really like how the packaging looks, but I'm actually sad that she actually took off the eyes from the palette. Huda actually took off her eyes, because I personally actually liked it, and it was a trend where every other, like, you can see a lot of brands have copied her in terms of like putting on their eyes into the palette or their packaging. But it was just an iconic thing to do the eye thing with the palette or the eyelashes. It was just iconic. So she actually got herself off the palette. But I think you guys should give Huda a point, because she's actually listening to what the customers are giving her, the feedback, what we are trying to say to her. She recently launched her stick foundation, and she actually got rid of the scent, which people actually complains about a lot. So she got rid of that. People were complaining of her putting her eyes onto every other palette she launches, and she also listened to that. So this is how a brand actually grows, and I give them a round of applause, because this is something like makes you connect with the brand, you know. It shows that they're actually listening to you and they care for your opinion. So this is what it is for me, and I personally like that. But not that I don't like it, it's really cute. The handwriting is Huda's, so I personally love that I have a piece of Huda's handwriting in my collection now. Now about the eyeshadows, I have to say this, that this is by far the most amazing palette of Huda Beauty. This is everything. It's a dream, because it just blends so nicely, and the shadows are so pigmented. You don't even have to do anything to blend them out, or to, you know, have the pigmentation going on. Like you barely have to touch them, you barely have to blend them, and it's just like magic. Like you touch it and boom, it's so good. So this is by far one of the most amazing one they have ever came out with. And let's talk about the marble shades right here. The marble shades are actually, I think, half matte and half shimmers. So the matte portion is actually giving the most color into the shimmer shade, and it's actually transferring it to a different shade. And we have a matte marble this year. This is something I haven't seen anywhere, and I think we have to give it to Huda Beauty that they are actually trying to come out with new sort of products. They're trying to be innovative. Rather it's a fail or a thumbs up, they're actually trying, because so many palettes came out this year, the past few years, and highly we get to see something new anymore. It's like we have already seen these things, but have you seen something like this yet? No. You might think that the colors look similar. Yes, the colors look similar, and it's not like it's not have been done before. Like the colors are not like they didn't invent the color. It's not like that, but the colors did exist. But the formulation, the look of the palette, the innovation of the palette, like the marbles and the slippery shade, it's never been done before. We should actually give it to them that they're actually trying to do something new. They're trying very hard, nonetheless, if it works for you or not, but they're actually trying and they're actually creating different things. You have to give it to them. And the metallics are, I mean, just look at my eyes and then you would know. They are so beautiful. They are so pigmented that you don't even barely have to touch them and you will just get boom. Like, just look at this. Ooh. Like, just touch them and you will have them in your fingertips. Like, they are so pigmented and they're so shiny and shimmery and glittery. And the matte eyeshadows are so blendable. Like, I got barely any fallout while I was using them. It was just too damn good. Like, it was like a dream. And with the shimmer eyeshadows, you can also now pick them up with a brush a lot more easier than her other previous palettes. The first ones that she came out with, the rose gold, or they were a tad bit difficult to get onto a brush, but these are not actually that hard to get onto a brush. I really had an amazing time using the shimmer eyeshadows, and I'm also wearing one as a highlighter today. The highlighter that you see in my cheek and my nose, this is actually from the palette. So I will be swatching the shades with you guys without any further ado. Let's start with the first shade, which is called Filthy. This is actually a muted rosy kind of pastel shade. So here is the swatch. I didn't realize I was out of focus. Then we have Passion. I still haven't swatched Passion because I wanted to do it in front of camera, so let's do it. Ooh, it's so soft. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful shade. Like, it's reminding me of MAC's blue brown pigment, but it's actually not that, and I think I should mix it a little bit more to get the full color. Wow. Then we have Shameless. Shameless is a fiery sort of pink. I don't know if you can see the swatches very nicely or not. Then we have Please Me, which is a brown sort of shimmer, which is this one. Oh, it's nice. Then let's see what we have. We have Hypnotic, which is a brown matte, a brown warm matte. Then we have Hard, which I still haven't swatched, so this is Hard right here. So this is Hard. It's sort of like a dark muddy brown. Then we have Untamed, which I used today, and oh my god, just look at this shade. Oh, I love this one. This is my most favorite shade in the palette, and I sort of want a lipstick in this color, so this is Untamed. Then we have Irresistible, which I used in my eyelid today. These shimmers are just so damn creamy. See the reflect? It's so reflective. Then Flower Power, which is another one which I'm wearing right now in my cheek as my highlighter. It's so beautiful. Then we have Rough. Then Spicy. Spicy is another deep burgundy sort of deep shade. Last year when they came out with Mercury Retrograde, my complaint was there was not that much of a dark shade in that one other than Vortex. I wish that there was a black shade, but with this palette I actually don't need a black because these two right here is the ultimate dark fantasy. Like, it's not black, but these are so rich. You just have to see them in person to understand how rich these shades are. Then let's swatch the last one around in this side. This is called Arouse, and this is a very burnt orangey kind of matte, and I really like this sort of color, so we're swatching it here. Just look at the pigmentation. Oof, these are so damn good. Okay, from the palette then we have Juicy. I'm going to swatch the Slippery last because I have a lot to say about it. So this is Juicy, which I also used in my eyes today to blend out the shade Untamed. Then we have Desire. I think in all of our palette there is a shade like this one, and I actually love it. These shades are so damn beautiful. And let's swatch Provocative. So I'm mixing in it quite nicely so that we can see the color and just see the shine. Then we have Naughty. This is really nice. This is another darker shade, but it is a little bit lighter than Untamed and Spicy. Then we have Tantric, which is another beautiful shade. Like, just look at this one. It's very beautiful. Lastly, we have Slippery, which is a gel formula or like a gloss which has this encapsulated pearls, bronzy and burgundy shimmery pearls in it, and this is supposed to be giving you the wet sort of look, you know, the looks that we see on runway models and stuff like that. And I have seen quite a few reviews where people actually use this shade on top of like their eyelid where they already have applied their shimmer shades. So this is actually kind of like basic thing. Like, imagine if I have Vaseline on one finger and I have powder in my hand or in my palm. So what will happen if I just dip my Vaseline lathered finger into the powdered portion of my hand? It will surely pick up the product and the powder. It will surely pick up the powder from my palm and just stick to the balm portion. And this is what actually have been happening with people. They used it on top of their eyeshadow, and as soon as they did that, they actually lost the luster of the eyeshadows because, you know, the fingertip actually or the balm actually took off the product of their eyelid. And also, I wouldn't necessarily suggest anyone to use this shade with concealer or like powdered down lid, because it's just not going to work like that and it will just make everything go gunky. But personally, I wouldn't be taking this shade and layer it on top of these shades because it will just simply stick the shadows into my finger rather than apply into the skin or the eyeshadow portion of my eyelid. So let's just swatch it. I am very excited. So this is Slippery. It's like a balm. It's like a balm. So I hope I'm in focus. So you see, this is the shade and it's like a gloss. It's a gloss. So if you actually want to use it, there are actually a lot of use of it. You can use it as a lip topper, and then you can also use it actually as a primer, because you see I laid it down here. I will lay it down on the side again so that you can see how it can be used for us. You can just simply, rather than using a concealer to create a base for your lid the way I usually do, what I can do is I can take this and apply it. This wouldn't be giving a heavy sort of color like a concealer, but nonetheless it has got a stickiness which will actually help my eyeshadows to adhere better. Let me just swatch a shade from another palette so that you can see what I'm talking about. So suppose I'm taking this shade from here. So this is the shade, and this is how it looks without any sort of primer or any sort of base. And if I just take this shadow again and lay it on top of the slippery shade, you will see it will be a lot more enhanced. So you can actually use this slippery shade as your eyeshadow base. I mean, do you see what I mean? You can definitely use this one as a eyeshadow base like this is, without the slippery shade or without any sort of base, but this is on top of the slippery shade. But let me just show you, if you actually use the slippery shade on top of, suppose, this one right here, which is provocative. So let me just take the shade again. This is the slippery shade. So you see, or let me just do it on top of tantric, because it's much more visible right now into the lighting. So I have the gloss in my fingertip. If I just swatched it on top of it, you see I actually lost all the luster that I had, and they're actually in my fingertips right now because the gloss actually sucked it into the stickiness of my palm rather than sticking it onto my lid or the wherever I am applying it. So you can see it's just lacking the luster that it had before, but all the luster is now in my fingertip. So I will just show quite a few other examples. So I'm just swatching the slippery quite a few times so that you can see, and I will swatch the shades without the slippery primer and with the slippery thing. It's not a primer, it's a gloss, by the way, but I called it a primer. So let's swatch Passion. So this is Passion without the base, the slippery base, and this is Passion with the base. Then we have Please Me. So this is Please Me without any sort of base or anything. And let's swatch Please Me on top of Slippery. You see it's a lot more intensified. You can see it right here. It's so much more intensified right now. Then we have Shameless. So this is Shameless right here without anything. And then with the slippery underneath, this is Shameless. So you see it's already much more shimmery and much more adhering to the skin. And let's just do Provocative. So this is Provocative without anything, and then Provocative on top of Slippery. Just look at the difference. So you can actually get a use out of Slippery. Everyone was saying that Slippery is basically a shade which is useless, but it is actually not. So these were the swatches of the Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette, and I hope I explained the slippery shade well to you so that you can actually use it rather than wasting it. And let me know in the comment section which shade you would like me to use in my next video. Huda Beauty is also coming out with a gold mini obsession palette, which is a cult exclusive, and it's only available in Cult Beauty. I will try to get my hands on that because that palette is just so beautiful, and let alone the packaging is just too damn pretty, and the gold shade, oh my god, I'm just dying to get that palette. I hope I can secure myself one, and hopefully you guys will get to see a lot more looks with this one. So this is my first impression of the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude palette, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and this was somewhat helpful for you guys. And please do make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and also comment down below. And if you are actually someone who's already not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please do subscribe and help me out, because I actually did a lot to get this video out to you guys. So make sure you guys do subscribe, and don't forget to like and follow me in my Instagram because I'm always active in there. I'm also available in Facebook, TikTok, so just search me by my handle Enchanted Beauty by Basma and you'll find me. And I will be catching you guys again in my next video. Till then, you guys take care. Bye bye.
Know what you're thinking, I wish I could fix this, yeah. If there's something that you need to say,